What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into things. Starting off with, I've heard you all's comment before on this. You're like, oh, you shouldn't watch The Boys, you should create Homelander, blah, 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 this, and blah, 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 that. Okay, I finally started watching that show. I finished the first season, and I'll have a review out for you guys probably tomorrow. So stick around for that, because I know there's a lot of people out there who have been wanting me to watch this Boys show for a long time. And I've got some thoughts on it, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. I didn't mind the show, but it's not quite what I was expecting it. So, anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, we've got 3 different things to talk about today. Oddly enough, all were concerning Batman. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into everything. So, some of you guys might know this. One of my favorite things that Batman has ever done in Lego and whatever is the first 2 Lego Batman video games. I absolutely love that first one that came out around 2006. That was actually quite literally my childhood. Because I just remember playing that game when I was a kid, struggling to figure out how to do all these things, and struggling to beat the game, and then I finally did beat the game at 100%, but unfortunately stuff happened, and it completely wiped my game clear, and I'm already back to almost a little over 80% in a matter of weeks, months, whatever you want to call it. So that's one thing, and then the second Lego Batman game, I remember as if it was yesterday. I remember when they announced they were doing another Lego Batman video game, and it was going to have talking characters. Little did I know I would actually come to hate that trope later that they put in Lego games now. I will do a separate video on this at some point in the future, why I don't like the fact that Lego made the minifigures and stuff talk in Lego games. I like that for the cutscenes and for the actual missions, but in the open world part of the Lego games, I absolutely hate that trope, with the exception of 3 Lego games in total. Everything else that has done that, I cannot stand, just because it's mind-boggling to where you're in the open world, you're trying to get stuff done, and you just hear all this chatter in the background. So, off topic, let's keep going. So, the reason I'm bringing up the first 2 Lego Batman video games is I have been desperately trying to figure out how to do this for the longest time, because some of my best custom-made Lego minifigures to this day are these 4 versions of Batman here. You got the Sonic suit from the first Lego Batman video game. You got the heat protection suit from the first Lego Batman game. You got the power suit back here from the second game. And then you have the sonar suit from the second game as well. And then obviously I do have the exclusive Lego Batman electricity suit from the second game as well. So, for the longest time, I've been wanting to make the Lego Batman and Robin suits from the first 2 Lego Batman video games, because I think those are the 2 that did the characters justice. I hate the third Lego Batman video game. I'll touch upon this when I do my ranting video on the Lego video games. But for now, just know that I liked the story and the missions that were in the third game. The open world part of the third game, I absolutely hated. And I'll get to that in another video. But just know that I do like those first 2 games. And one of my favorite things that they included was the fact that only Batman and Robin had interchangeable suits. For the first game, Robin and Nightwing were able to wear the same type of suit because it's supposed to be the same character or the same type of character. And then in this, also, you could have Batman and Batgirl interchange suits as well, because it's supposed to be the same type of character for free play and whatnot. And I love that they give it that personal factor for fans of both Nightwing and Batgirl, giving them that choice of, okay, if you want to play as Batgirl and you want to have Batman suits, there you go. Or if you want to play as Nightwing and still have all of Robin's suits, boom, there you go. I'm so thrilled that they included that differentiality for that. And then the second game came along, and they kept it the same to a point. Batgirl and Nightwing are not in that second game, as far as I know. I know you can get an expansion pack with at least Nightwing. I don't remember if Batgirl's a part of it, but I do know that you can get an expansion pack that does have Nightwing for that second game. I know this because I tried to get it, and it failed miserably and almost fried my Wii U. But that's one of the things I did not like about the third game, is that they gave everybody numerous attires that could do the exact same thing Batman and Robin could. And one of the reasons I liked that was they were able to have that differentiality of Batman and Robin both use gadgets. Their suits give them that ability to use those gadgets. So I've been trying to figure out a way to interpret those designs from the video games into actual Lego pieces. I was able to do that with four versions of Batman, and I know this is going to piss off a bunch of people, but for the first Lego Batman video game suits that I'm doing with Robin, I'm using Nightwing instead of Robin. I think that the black just pops a lot more vibrant and looks better than having that bright red torso and crotch piece, with the exception of different color arms and legs. I do not like the fact that Robin had that bright red suit with the green legs anyway, because I just thought that was really weird. I know what they were doing because of the low budget. They couldn't exactly do dual molded legs, because back then dual molded legs weren't a thing. But I feel the Nightwing suits from that first game just look better because it's the same Robin suit, just in black. And that's why these first suits here are going to be Nightwing instead of Robin. The second Lego Batman games, which are going to be these, I have two of them right here that are almost done, and then two that I still have yet to do. Those will still be Robin, and I have a fairly decent explanation for that. So for my headcanon with this, Dick Grayson / Nightwing is the Robin of the first Lego Batman game. But then when they redesigned the characters for the second video game, they made, to me, if I'm not mistaken, they made Robin's look more like Tim Drake or Jason Todd. And most likely Tim Drake, because Jason Todd is way too dark of a character to put in a children's video game, even though Red Hood is in the third Lego Batman game. But that's a story for another time. So I wanted to go ahead and use Nightwing for the first game because technically Dick Grayson was the first Robin, and then Tim Drake and Jason Todd were technically the second Robins. So, in my headcanon, first video game, first Robin, second video game, second Robin. So, that's kind of how my headcanon's working with that. I'm sure some of you guys are going to bitch, oh, you should have used Robin because he's one of the main characters of that first game and blah, 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 blah. I like Nightwing. Nightwing is one of my favorite DC characters. Some of you guys might know that. Some of you guys might not know that. But the reason I chose Nightwing for these four suits is because, to me, that black just pops a lot better than a bright red with a handful of different changes to the suit. That's just me. That's why I chose that. So, yell at me all you want in the comments. I really don't care. Anyway, moving on. So, real quick, oddly again, another Lego Batman update. This is, some of you guys might not know this. Sorry, I dried out my throat. some of you guys might not know this. I am trying to work on an origin story style Batman movie. Now, this is not going to be a straight up origin story with, showing how the Waynes were killed, showing how Bruce Wayne becomes, this rich bastard and whatever from the, from the comics and whatnot. It's not going to be an full on origin. It's going to start off with Bruce Wayne as an adult. He's already gone through the Waynes' death, but he is learning how to become Batman. Similar to the Batman from the 2022 with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, except this is going to be a year one style story. It's going to show Batman banking his suit. It's going to show Batman building his gadgets, changing his gadgets, changing his suits, making sure that he's, continuously upgrading himself to be the ultimate crime fighter. So expect to see different versions of the Batmobile. Expect to see different versions of the Batsuit. Expect to see stuff like that. This particular movie is going to be taking inspiration from three of, in my opinion, the best versions of Batman, which would be Michael Keaton's 1989 Batman, 2008's The Dark Knight Batman, and Robert Pattinson's The Batman. So, it's going to take, hopefully we'll take some of the best elements from those three movies, kind of mesh them all together into one thing, and then hopefully it will become a great Batman movie on this channel for people to love and enjoy. Because otherwise, if it doesn't work, then I'll just, leave it dead and buried like I did the first Nightwing movie, because that movie sucked ass. So, I'm going to go ahead and confirm this right now. The first Batmobile that you will see in this Batman movie, only because I like the design of it, but I do not like the functionality of it, is the Tumbler. Now, I've always been up and down with the Tumbler. I like the design of the Tumbler. It looks really cool. But to me, if I were Batman and I were doing crime fighting stuff, the Tumbler is completely impractical and not at all good for crime fighting. And there's two good reasons. There's actually several good reasons for that, but the main ones are it's big and bulky, and it is not at all subtle and stealthy. So, because anytime the Tumbler is on screen in the first Batman movie, and even in The Dark Knight, it is just shown causing all kinds of destruction, tearing up everything in its path and everything, and it just comes off as impractical when Batman is supposed to be, whenever he's using the Batmobile, it's supposed to be stealthy, it's supposed to have all these gadgets, it's supposed to have all this kind of stuff, and the Tumbler to me just never kind of gave that feeling for it. So that is one of the reasons why it will be the first Batmobile used in the Lego Batman movie that I'm going to do. But by no means do I not like the Tumbler. I think the Tumbler is actually a really cool Batmobile. I just don't think it's that practical for Batman doing his crime fighting. But design-wise, it looks really cool. I do like the design of the Tumbler. So now, last update, or last thing to talk about. I'm in the middle of trying to build a whole bunch of these little jail cells, not only for my Batman movie, but also for future projects down the line. But mostly for the Batman movie. Because I'm not going to say too much, but by the end of the movie, there will be a time jump. And there are going to be a couple of characters that are hidden. Now, granted, keep in mind the story's not finalized, so obviously this could change by then. So if by some chance this changes in the future, don't be totally pissed off with me. But I'm also planning to use these little jail cells for a bunch of other projects, mostly including characters like Spider-Man, obviously Batman, and quite possibly even for Gravity Man whenever I finally remake that character or decide I actually want to do it, because I want to do it, but at the same time I don't want to do that. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I know it was a little bit more crazy than some of my other videos because I was ranting and raving about, some of the stuff I don't like about Lego games nowadays, but I'm going to say that for an entire different video. If you guys want to see that video, comment down in the comment section, Lego rant, and I will do a full video on me ranting about modern day Lego games. So if you guys want to see that, comment down below, and I'll make sure I put that in my to-do list for my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys all next time in Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.